Yo, what's up, fam? Yeah, so things are a little different now, and I went through a couple of changes. Figure I'll come back and update you guys. I'm in my old studio. I can still go in my other studio, but I don't feel like doing all that setting up business. So just make it real simple and go to my bathroom studio. So what's been up, family? It's been wow. It's been a minute, right? Since I've been posting anything. Now, why is that? Went through some changes, you know what I mean? And they've been positive changes for me, and I have adjusted now to the new changes, and I'm pretty cool with it. Um, I still got some things to do, but it's not about me right now. Basically, just want to come back and check on you guys and see how you've been doing. Yeah, and there's been some things going on, you know, from what I'm hearing now. My man Elon Musk. Wow. Elon Musk is now throwing his cap into the political world. So what exactly does that mean? I mean, do we know for sure that he's actually doing that, or are we just speculating? I guess a lot of us are speculating because he really hasn't come out and said that he was going to actually get involved with the political thing. But from what you see, he's starting to announce or mention that he's supporting he's supporting, and some of the things that he is interested in. Um, it seemed to be lining him up for some political action. So just like any other rich person, they would like for the country to go their way, and the only way they can successfully make that happen is that they buy some things or invest in some things that will lead the country into what it is they want or in their better interest. So Elon Musk, what is his interest though? He's fooling around with SpaceX, trying to get a colony out to Mars, and he's interested in getting the attention of the people by buying Twitter for 44 billion. He just got money to burn, and other things. He's already had a forum with the richest man of China, and basically he doesn't 100% agree with how his ideology is. As far as this war in Ukraine, I don't know where his true stance on that is. I would love to see exactly if he was to consider running, he would run as what party? That's always a big thing, and as we know right now, that being that Elon Musk has gotten into buying Twitter, that Fox News, all the people at Fox News are jumping on board to try to push him and support him by saying things like "great job" and just trying to get him, trying to stroke his ego for the most part, so he can lean toward the Republican Party. They're already putting their 2 cents in, and we already know that Elon Musk is an entity of his own, and he pretty much can do basically anything he wants to do. I don't know if he feels strongly against the war in Ukraine or for the war. I haven't heard much of that lately. Um, like, what is Elon Musk's interest in the Ukraine war?
According to DW, just after Russia's invasion began in late February, Ukrainian Vice Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov took to Twitter to ask US billionaire Elon Musk to activate his Starlink satellites for use in Ukraine. Musk swiftly tweeted his response: Starlink service is now active in Ukraine. More terminals en route.
Okay. All right. So apparently, let me see. So the Russian invasion began in late February. Ukraine Vice Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov took to Twitter to ask U.S. billionaire Elon Musk to activate his Starlink satellites for use in Ukraine. Musk swiftly tweeted his response. Okay, so he sounds like that he is in for helping the Ukraine government to survive and fight against Russia. But that still remains to be, because you think about it. Once he buys and gets a hold to Twitter, the very things that I think a lot of the people were trying to prevent, and that was that little piece of hair is being stubborn right there, and I'm about to handle that thing right now. Did a little workout, so it's getting a little stubborn. There you go. Got him. So my man Elon, I don't think we really know exactly what it is he's doing. He's not showing his whole hand right now. But as far as I see it, the little things that I'm noticing with his talk and the way that he's actually buying particular things align itself up with getting supporters, enough supporters to possibly, even if he choose to run as president one of these days. I don't know if it's going to be 2024 or it might be after that, but he is aligning himself to actually be in a position to be the most powerful man in the world. Now, he's already one of the richest men in the world, but he wants to be the most powerful man in the world. How do you do that? And that is to be able to control or be head of a country. You look at what Vladimir Putin, whatever, President Vladimir Putin is doing. Um, he's making a lot of threats, and most bullies do that. If you notice how Trump was trying to bully people, and it was working, but then it really wasn't working with everybody. And then it's the same thing with Putin. Putin is trying to bully actually the world by threatening them that he has nuclear power and he can reach anywhere in the world. And the crazy thing about that threat is that countries like United States and China has the capabilities to do the same thing. So what are you saying? What is he saying? If you don't do what I say, I will hit the button. Then if you hit the button, then other countries who have the same capabilities will probably do the same. And that puts us all human beings at this bad position that we're just simply waiting to die, waiting for the nucleus to strike and spread across the land. And for the rich, they will have enough underground caves or cities to go and survive until the nucleus calms down after everybody else is dead, I guess. I think they want to kind of restart it that way. But Elon Musk, he ain't talking about going underground. He's talking about going to Mars. Elon Musk, like, look, let's just go on out there. You know what I mean? So there's a whole lot of things going on right now. Okay, so let me see. Here's one report that is saying things like the Ukraine crisis. Elon Musk refuses to block Russian news sources, says he's a free speech absolutist. So, for the most part, Elon Musk believes, and it's crazy how he he feels that way about everyone else. But when the kid was literally following every move he made, he wanted to stop that. He felt that he and his people were at risk of danger because this kid was able to actually track everything that he was doing and everywhere he was going and flying to. But that was free speech. But now he's like, everybody should have free speech. So what I will do, nobody's going to be stopped from speaking their mind and how they feel unless it's about him. That's something that I'm not. I'm like, I'm a little confused there. The kid was using his free speech as well, but instead, you tried to bribe him with money. And I guess if that didn't work, your next best thing is to buy Twitter for $44 billion, and then you can do what you want with it, and you can make it private. Those are the type of things that I'm hearing. There's a lot more, of course, involved with it all, and of course, more political crap has been going on, like what's her name, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene was just, uh, I guess she was. I don't even know what all that was about. Marjorie Taylor Greene was just on trial. Was it actually a trial though? You know, they caught her lying, of course, a couple of times, and she was accused of lying in a hearing at the Capitol for the attack case. So, say Marjorie Taylor Greene testifies and challenges over January 6th ties. So she was basically tied into that whole thing with pushing or convincing people that Nancy Pelosi was a terrorist against this land and should be eliminated. And she said she didn't say it, even though they have her on tape saying it. And that's the same ideology, I think. Well, I know for a fact that Trump did, and it's the same ideology as what Putin does. Putin says, even though they have everything on camera of what he's doing, and he says he's not doing it. So, and the Republican Party is basically that way. Controversial Republicans, U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia on Friday defended her comments ahead of January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol while testifying under oath as part of the challenge to her re-election by voters and a supporting legal group who are seeking to knock her off the ballot for her role prior in the riot. Greene's appearance in the Atlanta court Friday made her the first GOP member of Congress to testify publicly about January 6th, even as Democratic-led committee back in Washington, D.C. has spent months investigating the attack. Greene was in front of administrative law judge because a handful of voters in her district represented by a nonprofit called Free Speech for People, says Greene should be disqualified because they allege she encouraged and supported the riots who stormed the Capitol, which she did along with Trump and the rest of them. And now they're denying that they did this, but publicly before January 6th of 2021 and the day of, they were supporting it. And soon after, before all the law or all the people start getting rounded up, they were still supporting what they did. But now they're denying it all. And it's all on tape. You cannot lie your way out of that because maybe they thought it would work. So it's a whole lot going on. She went on trial. Since I've been gone, Ketanji Brown Jackson has been nominated for Supreme Court Justice, and she is just waiting her turn to actually sit on the seat. You know, she's waiting for Ketanji Brown Jackson is now the new judge, right? And let me see, it's the most political hurdles. All right, so right, and mainly, I'm reading something right now, and I'm just trying to keep up with it. Supreme Court nominee Jackson defends her record as judge, public defender, and the marathon hearing. So yeah, they went through a lot with her, and even though they tried to block it, stop her, it still went through thanks to the I think it was 2 or 3 Republicans who voted in her favor, which was a great thing that they were fair enough, to look at her record and see that there's no nothing bad in her record that would prevent her. Only thing that I think they were trying to come up with was nonsense that they simply threw at the wall. I think one of them came up with something about children's books. So he was, Lord Almighty, he was bringing up children books, and then they asked her a question about um, women. Um, do she feel that women, or what is the essence of a woman, or something, man? They tried everything to discredit her, and they had nothing. Literally, the same way they did Obama. They literally had nothing. They had to create things, make up stuff. And they know that their supporters will believe anything that they make up. And they have no facts and all that. So there's a lot of things that happened since I was gone, since I haven't been posting. And I'm just kind of like just getting back into it. I set the computer down because there's some things I had to do in my own personal life, and I seem to have gotten it done. And right now, I'm just trying to make sure that everything falls through, just as I laid it out. So I got some good things, and I am extremely proud to have made these particular changes, because it's changes I think we all need to make in life that are positive. And sometimes we have a tendency of looking past something that's right in front of you. Especially when it comes to relationships. We have a tendency of the person who is for you, even though they're not perfect, you know, and they're there, and you are looking at all past that individual because maybe you want more of how that you want that person to walk and look a particular way. You know what I mean? And the person that is for you may be just that normal looking individual, that plain Jane, or that plain Jan, or plain John. Could be right there in front of you. But because you're looking at glitter and all this fabulous, you overlook that person who's probably the best person or best fit for you. And I found myself in that situation, and I had to really really take a good look at me, look at myself. And that's what I've been doing, reflecting. The times that you guys haven't seen me posting anything, I've been reflecting on me, and reflecting on my shallowness, and trying to be more than just a person who is blinded by the mask of things, because people put on a really good mask, and then when you really get to know them, you see the true individual, and then you say to yourself, wow, I'm not, this is not what I expected, because that image is what you had got accustomed to. And then when you get past that, you see that there's the real person. And I think that was the thing I had been through. And me personally, I had to make sure that I wasn't putting on a front like that as well. It's putting on this fake front that everything is fine and dandy, and I got my ducks in a row, and I got everything. Mm-mm. No, I need it real, and when I made the choice to make this positive change, which is good in God's eyes as well, because I'm a God believer, even though I wasn't walking 100% like I'm supposed to as a Christian. And I claimed to be a Christian, even in my dirt, even when I was doing crap. I was a Christian who fell. I was an angel who fell, and I had to pick myself up. So my absence was me picking myself up. And in the process, I see all this stuff that's going on, and this war, and Black people saying this is not our war, and it's not our war, but it's our livelihood, basically, if this is where we live, and we're at the brink of World War III. And I think that it was wrong for slavery to come about. It was wrong for another group of people to treat Black people the way they did all this time. And even to this day, it is wrong to even try to have these laws that will suppress against Black and brown people. It is wrong regardless. And if it's wrong for it to be happening to Black folks, then it's wrong to be happening to anybody. Anybody. Now, for the evil ones who are trying to uphold this law, then if they happen to fall in their evilness, then they deserve that, because it's obvious they wouldn't want that for themselves, because they know it ain't right. But they want it for someone else, and they know it ain't right. And if they fall in their evilness and in their evil deeds of trying to force another group of people to be suppressed, enslaved, and killed, and eliminated, then they themselves, you know, when or if they do fall, they deserve every bit of it, because they had nothing but an opportunity to change that way, knowing that it's not right. You see? So if it's not good for Black people to go and suffer behind that, it's not good for any other group of people to be suffering behind that. That's it. So for us to say, no, it ain't our war. I know it's not our war. But if it's World War III, then what are we gonna say? What are we gonna do? We just gonna be like, it ain't our war. We'll wait till they come to the house. By the time they coming up to the house, it's too late, because they have already breached our borders. They're already there in our neighborhood, and they're controlling. We're gonna wait until they're controlling and then try to fight for the house that you live in. How about we catch them at the border if we have to, if that's what is necessary? And we're not doing it just for like their survival. When I say their, I mean, like just like white people. We're fighting for Black people too. We're fighting for all people in this country. Everybody, even if they have been at our throats all this time, we even fighting for them rascals. You know what I mean? We don't want to, but then how do we decipher who's who when they put that fake smile on and we don't know who really was the enemy? All we know is that they're white. They're white folks. But all white people are not our enemies, though. That's the situation. There's a whole lot of white people that got our backs, that's willing to go on the front line and fight with us and die with us side by side. So you're saying that we should just let them die too? Nah, I don't see it that way. I see them as my white brothers. If they happen to be Chinese, they're my Chinese brothers. If they're willing to fight with me on the front lines, then they are my brothers and sisters. And I'm not going to say just because they're not Black that I'm not going to fight for the survival of all of us. We just got to take that chance. If we believe in God, the high power, the Father, the creator of all, then we believe that what we're doing is for the greater of mankind. and we do what we must for the greater of mankind. Fight against the people who are trying to destroy the freedom of mankind, man and mankind, whatever you want to poke at to make whatever sense of that you wanted to make. But the way I'm making it is that we all need to fight for each other. We are Americans in this country. We need to fight for this country. Well, some of us are not forced to be here, and then there's a whole bunch of us that are forced to be here. We're forced to go by these fake beat up laws that doesn't benefit us, but we still have to fight for this country because this is all we know. And we can go to other countries thinking it's going to be better. As soon as your little black butt get over to another country, you're going to be like a raisin in the sun. And they're going to know right off the bat, you're not from here. This is a jacked up country in which we live in. And what makes it jacked up is the people that's running the country. They're evil. Not all of them, though. That's the situation we're in. All of them are not evil. But the ones that are, they got that label, Republican. The Republican Party does not like black and brown people, and anything that's going to benefit them, they will try to tear it down. It's just like what they're doing now and what they'll always do because of deep-rooted racism. That's a fact. If we can eliminate deep-rooted racism within people, now here it is. We have the opportunity as black folks is not to show that we have that deep-rooted racism or that deep-rooted hatred, which do we have the right to be mad and angry at the white ancestors that did this to us? Yeah, we have the right to be angry, especially if you're trying to follow up on what your ancestors done. We have the right to be angry at you if that's what you're doing. But for the ones who are not that way, we shouldn't be angry at just the color of their skin. That's something you can't get a bunch of black people to understand because they just got that hatred in them, and that makes them just like the racist people who hate us. And if we are not like that, then we look at their deeds. We look at people's deeds. If they're willing to fight with us on the front line, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, then we're brothers and we should fight for our survival. But if they're fighting against us, then that's our enemy. That is a simple concept to understand. So I'm still on that kick, y'all. I'm still working out. Still got my little workout going. I got a workout partner. Yeah, one day I'm gonna do a video of me and my little workout partner. She little, but she a strong little thing. You know what I mean? And that's my boo. Yeah, baby. So yeah, y'all. New things going on for me. New things. I hope that the country can survive what's going on, and the people in Ukraine, even though at the beginning of this war they showed some of those Ukraine people showed racism by keeping the black people from getting on those trains to get out of that war, and that was a jacked up message to be sending across the world. And a lot of us lost a lot of faith in them, and I almost lost a lot of faith in them as well. But I just think that that was just a few who did that. I don't think it was the masses. I don't think everybody thinks that way, but let God sort that out. We just do what our human love for other humans should stand. And if it's for the people who was stopping the black Africans from getting on that train, then I hope they get a rock upside their head or something, or get them caught somewhere and they can't get out because of who they are, and let them feel what they just did to those African people. And yeah, is that the whole Ukraine country? I don't think so. I just think it's a handful of people. And That goes the same with here in this country. Is the whole country racist? I don't think so. I think it's just a good portion, more than half of this country, that are very racist, and the other half plus, if not. So, we can't put everybody in the same basket just because of the color of their skin. That goes the same for if um, if a black man robbed you, or killed somebody in your family, or tried to murder you, or run you down, or shoot at you, or whatever. Does that mean all black people are no good like that person? No, that's not what that means. That's just that very few that are no dang on good. And that goes the same with the people in Ukraine who stopped them black folks from getting on that train. They ain't no dang never good. It goes the same for the Russian people who come over and forced to fight that war in Ukraine, who don't really want to fight because they want peace. I'm talking about the people. I'm not talking about the Putin. Putin wants war. He wants to be a dictator. That's what he does. You know, but the people who are regular citizens like you and me fighting for this country, if we have to, we don't want to. And if we feel like that we're fighting unjustly, we're probably not going to want to do it. Just like a lot of people don't want to do it now. So hey man, that's a big pill. That's a big pill to swallow. This is just, people are going to disagree with everything I just said, and then there's people who are going to agree with it. And for the ones who agree with it, okay, we unite it. But for the ones who don't, then okay, we disagree. But the bottom line is we all stuck in the middle. So what you gonna do? Peace.